You know, I have done music from this film before, but for whatever reason, I kept skipping over me and Sebastian's theme, which is a little strange because this theme is like the heart of the film. Anyway, we're back on track now after a few requests. I've decided to buckle down and do it, and I'll do the whole thing for you, right? I'll play the first 10 seconds of the piece, then the tutorial will begin. I'll break everything down for you so you can learn it yourself, and that includes that difficult ending, that jazz improv fast section. I'll give it to you exactly as it is in the film. I won't cut any corners. It's difficult, no doubt, so it's up to you to pick up the speed. I'll give you all the tools you need. All right, so here it is, the first 10 seconds of this theme first. But in octave form, right? But I'll begin with the left hand. I think we should get the easy stuff out of the way before we start to put things together. The piece is in 3/4 time, like a waltz, so it should be fairly straightforward to put together rhythmically. Before I begin, though, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like what I'm doing here. It helps a lot when you do, especially if you hit that little notification bell. At this point in time, it shows the algorithm that this is something it ought to promote, that it'll pump it up, push it forward. All right, with that in mind, let's do it. Let's begin with the left hand. Simple enough. We begin the first bar with 5 and 1. That's it. Moving on to the next bar. Both of these fellows move up by a little bit, and we get B and A. Same fingering, 5 and 1. Next bar. Second finger is basically ready to go on E. And this thumb will now open up slightly so that it sits across both A and B. Like that. And then the final and fourth bar of the phrase is like the first, except we have an added F sharp to finish off. Easy enough. Now that you can actually do with 1 to 2 or 1 and 1. Whatever, it's not really that important. All right, so once more we have 5 to 1. Here's your first bar. 5 to 1. Here's your second bar. Open up slightly. Thumb straddles. And then finish with 5, 1, and 2. And that's it. Simple enough. With counts, because this is in 3, we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 there you have it. So make sure you can do that with the counts with the left hand on its own. Once you have that down, come back for the right. So here is the right. So we begin with 1, and then almost all the fingers, 2, 3, 4, back down the exact same way, and then land on a D. And that D is already the next bar. Right? So once more. 1 through 4. Back down. And land on D. Hold that for a while and then we move on Same exact thing, except the thumb begins on D. All these notes are the same. And then land on C sharp, where you started initially. So you can see that these guys remain the same. It's just the thumb that sort of takes turns being on C sharp, then D, D, and then C sharp. With counting, these are all, apart from the last notes, which are dotted halves, these are eighths. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 there you have it. Easy enough, right? Now when you put them together, the first thing you want to know is where the hands are aligning and where they're not. We begin at the same time. Together. Right alone. Together. Right, 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 prepare the left, together, and then left hand alone. All right, so I'm really sort of spoon feeding you this. Once you have this sort of relationship between faster notes in the right, slower notes in the left, it's a little bit easier to continue into the piece. But for the beginning, I just want to make sure that's really clear how to do this. So once more, a little faster. It's together, right, together, right, 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 together, left. There's the first half of the phrase. Same exact thing with counts. So let's give it some rhythmic context. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and moving on. Same sort of rhythm, we just need the notes to work out. So get that one in position, this in position, and then together, right, together, right, 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 together. And then the last two notes are left hand alone. So it should feel the same. The rhythm here and the relationship rhythmically between the hands is very much the same. With counts now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and the counts are there as scaffolding. So once you feel like you feel the rhythm and understand and your fingers sort of remember what to do, you can do away with the counts and just sort of play it by ear. It's always good to have them in the back of your head sometimes to just verify that you're doing it right. But on the whole, it's a waltz time, and I don't think it'll be too difficult to do this correctly. Putting all that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 not bad, right? So if you can learn that very well and really take your time with it, pause and play each section that I taught, do it and give it its due. And once you have that down, you'll realize that moving into the next parts, things become a lot easier if you really understand and feel comfortable with these rhythms and the way that the hands interact. Pedal-wise, this is all you have to remember, that you begin with the pedal down, and you'll be pedaling a change for every new bar. So pedal down for this. Change pedal. And then change pedal. Change pedal. There. And as I said before, if you have any questions about pedaling or anything else that's technical, once you're a member, you can reach out to me and I can give you some instructions or point you to the right video to watch to teach yourself how to do these little details. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's keep on moving forward. See you soon.